It's Jim Hutchens for the Jerusalem Connection Spot Report for this week. Like many of you, I have come to believe that we are in what the Scriptures refer to as the end times, the last days. I think there's certain things that are taking place now in the world with Israel, the various nations in the Middle East. We can't go into all of it during this time. But we are in those last days. And at the same time as we are experiencing this, there is the rise of what the Scriptures refer to as false prophets. Yes, they're here. They're giving us times and dates about the Lord's return, and they're false. Who can forget Harold Camping, for example, who said in May 1988 that the Lord was going to return. He didn't, so he adjusted the date to September 1994. He didn't return then. Adjusted the date to May 21st, 2011. That didn't happen. Adjusted to October 21st, 2011. It didn't happen, and he has thankfully since resigned. Praise the Lord. I've been receiving for several months now from a fellow named Ron Reese the declaration that the rapture would take place on April 11th, 2012. Well, April 11th has come and gone. It didn't happen. He made an adjustment to his dates. He said this past weekend, either Saturday or Sunday, over Shavuot, May 26th, Monday 27th, it would take place. Well, it didn't take place. What he'll do about it, we'll just have to wait and see. I'm sure I'll hear from him again. And then there is the Worldwide Church of God, founded by Herbert W. Armstrong. It's led today by one Ron Wineland. And he has made the audacious claim that he is one of the two prophets, the witnesses that are spoken of in Revelation chapter 11. By the way, he's the spokesman for both of those witnesses, he claims. And he also claimed that this past Sunday, May 27th, that the Lord would return, we'd be caught up together with him. Well, that hasn't happened. And I would say to you that these ministries, so-called, should collapse under the weight of their own lack of credibility. Now, whether they will or not, we'll just have to wait and see. These are false prophets. And their failure of their prophecies to come true proves it. So what are we to do about this as we anticipate the end times and we believe that they're coming? First of all, I think we need to recognize that by their fruits you shall know them. That's what Jesus said in Matthew chapter 7. By their fruits. I don't care whether it's pastors or prophets or pundits or politicians. We will know them by their fruits, what they stand for, their actions, their behavior, what they endorse. We'll know them. And Jesus said this, not every one of you who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the ones who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. Many will say on that day to me, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name? And in your name drive out demons, and in your name perform miracles. And Jesus said, then I'll tell them plainly, I never knew you. Depart from me, you evildoers. That's a strong condemnation. And we should be awfully, awfully careful about what we say about the Lord and what he's doing in his timetable. And these self-appointed timetables by these self-appointed prophets are not the way to go. What's the way to go? Well, Jesus said this in his prayer to the Father in Matthew chapter 7, or John chapter 7. He says, sanctify them by the truth. Your word is truth. We're told to search the truth of God in the Scriptures, and he would speak to us. As a matter of fact, he exalts the Berean Jews in Acts chapter 17, verse 14. Now the Berean Jews were more noble character than those in Thessalonica, for they received the message with great eagerness and examined the Scriptures every day to see whether these things were true. That's what we need to do. God will show us, God will reveal to us in time. But Jesus said, no man knows the hour or the day. I don't even know, he said. Only the Father in heaven knows. But when the time comes, we will know. God says this through the prophet Amos in Amos chapter 3 and verse 7. Yahweh does nothing without revealing his plans to his servants, the prophets. Look for a consensus among the reputable servants of God as to what's happening, when it's happening, where it's going to happen. God will speak to his people. They won't be in the dark. His actions will not be done in a closet on the backside of a desert. Yahweh does nothing without revealing his plans to his servants, the prophets. So until next week, Od Ki Yavo Shiloh, or until Messiah comes, Shalom Aleichem.